So over the last few months, I have been buying some skincare and makeup items. Today we're going to sit and talk about everything. So if you enjoy these kind of chilled out and chatty beauty hauls, then just keep watching. Hi guys, it's Magali, and if it's your first time on my channel, then welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I make regular videos on beauty, fashion and lifestyles. Today is a haul video. It's going to feature all of the things in this basket, as well as a significant amount of things that didn't really fit in the basket because it is a small basket. Maybe I should have got a bigger basket. Today's haul is basically going to be skincare and makeup. Skincare is largely Korean, but there are some other things as well. There are quite a few beauty tools and there are some cream blushes. I have tried out about 80 to 90% of stuff that I'm going to show you, so I will be able to include mini reviews as well that will hopefully be useful to you. And today's video is kind of haul part 1 because I have been buying hair care products, hair styling products, body care products. So those are going to be in a separate video and you can look out for that next week. I'm going to start out with some of the Korean skincare, and everything that I mentioned is going to be listed and linked in the description bar below this video. I find Korean skincare products to be really effective across so many different skin types and really quite affordable as well. I used to buy more of my Korean skincare through international websites like Wishtrend and all of that. Now ever since the pandemic hit, it's becoming really difficult to online shop from abroad because when it comes into India, like the customs and all becomes a bigger issue. Many websites such as YesStyle have just stopped shipping to India, and they used to before. I don't really know if or when they will resume, and that's when I realized I'm gonna have to look for local websites that are based in India that stock Korean skincare if I want to restock the things. And I found Limes, and I actually purchased one product from ʽSOᴜ. So before I go into talking about the product, I'm going to quickly talk about Limes because I'm very impressed by the website. They stock so many different Korean brands, some of which I already knew of and some of which I'm hearing for the first time. I have not looked up the pronunciation of all these names, so I do apologize if I butcher some of them. They have A by Bomb, Bella Monster, ʽSOᴜ, Dr. Oracle, ᴠᴜᴜ, I love Claire's, Limes, they have their own brand as well. They have a Make, PREM, I always say that as Prem because that's an actual word in Hindi. They have SNP Prep and Too Cool for School. They're also adding new brands almost every second day or so. No, I'm exaggerating, but I see them adding new brands on a very regular basis. And one of the interesting things about Limes is that they are not a Korean product reseller. There are quite a few of those, but they actually partner with these brands and they're like official distributors. So you know you're getting the real deal. And when I purchased this product from ʽSOᴜ, I was really surprised when I opened my parcel because there were so many more things in the parcel. They had actually included a face mask at the time, which was really thoughtful. I also got some of their own brands brightening sheet masks, and then I also got this clean and fresh face mask. As a content creator, sometimes I do get PR from brands, but this wasn't the case here. I was just a customer buying products off of their website, and they kindly included so many goodies which really shocked me. If you would like to try out Limes, I have a coupon code which will give you 10% off of your order on a minimum order value of rupees 1,500, which is a really good deal. I think I'm going to include my coupon code below so you can go purchase anything you would like from any of the brands. And if you buy stuff now, I believe they're still including a lot of different goodies in the orders. Let's talk about the actual product that I purchased from ʽSOᴜ. I think they're one of the most well-known Korean skincare brands in the world, and I think they're one of the first brands I'd heard of also. They were not easy to get a hold of in India. So when I saw that they started stocking ʽSOᴜ, I was overwhelmed. But I do have a lot of skincare, so I wanted to pick up something new, and that's when I decided to buy their BHA Power Liquid because this is like a BHA based chemical exfoliator. The main ingredients in it are willow bark water 67.8%, and then there's betaine salicylate 4%. They have also mentioned a full ingredient list at the side, which is very much appreciated because I think on Instagram we are having a debate right now about how So many different Indian brands don't include full ingredient lists, and I think it's really important. If you are new to chemical exfoliation with BHAs, I wouldn't suggest you start out with this one immediately. I went for this knowing that it was stronger, and my skin is already pretty acclimated to BHA because I am just finishing off the ordinary salicylic acid 2%. It is supposed to target blackheads, and I believe it does that pretty well. But you can actually use this on your body also. I've been doing more research on chemical exfoliation for the body instead of physical exfoliation. So you don't use scrubs, but you use something that's BHA based. And I have recently started using salicylic acid to exfoliate in 2 areas. So I do it on my upper thigh because that's where I get a lot of ingrown hair every time I shave, and it's really annoying. So I have started applying salicylic acid there, and then I also use salicylic acid for my upper arms because that's where I have keratosis pilaris. I believe it has a lot of different names like chicken skin, where your hair follicle just gets a little bit of extra keratin and it doesn't feel so smooth. So BHA is one of the best way to kind of manage that condition and to keep your skin really smooth. I actually tried this out for a few days. I found it very effective and it's not at all irritating also. I'm just finishing off my ordinary salicylic acid, and then I'm gonna go start using this on a regular basis. Next, we're going to talk about another Korean skincare brand, which is actually one of my favorites that I've been using for years, called Laneige. Everyone knows them pretty much for their lip sleeping masks, but they have a lot of other skincare products also. A few months ago, they launched some of them in India, which was very exciting. So I picked up one thing basically, which is their Cica sleeping mask. So this is supposed to be an overnight face mask, which means it's essentially like night cream, and you would use this whenever your skin is feeling especially irritated. I love Cica, also known as Centella asiatica. I think it's a really good ingredient for inflamed skin of any kind, be it reactions to a product, be it hormones driving your skin a little bit crazy, be it sunburn. And so I picked this up and it has not disappointed. I don't incorporate it into my routine all of the time because I don't need to. Just use it whenever my skin looks like more acneic, more reactive, more red, and it does an amazing job of calming my skin down overnight. So when you buy Laneige online, they pretty much always offer you some samples to try out some of their other products, and the exact samples that you'll get depends on when you buy because it changes pretty often. So I got 2 minis of their water bank gel cream and their cream skin refiner. These are decent sized samples, so they help you get a good idea about their product. The water bank gel cream is something that I am especially looking forward to using right now because it's kind of hot this month. We do have one summer month before we descend into autumn winter type of feels. The gel cream variant of water bank is supposed to be lighter and good for oily skin. They have a regular cream if you have normal to dry skin, and the cream skin refiner is something very interesting. I've seen a lot of hype for it. It is basically a toner, but in the tradition of Korean skincare brands, it's a more nourishing toner. So it's something more for dry skin types, or maybe more for all skin types, but during the winter season only, because in India most of the toners that we get are really watery, but I have seen Korean products before that have more nourishing toners. I've heard really good things about this product, but I have not tried it yet, so I cannot comment on it personally. They do have a mist version of this abroad, but that mist is not in India yet. I really hope they release that one soon because I am interested in trying the mist out. But if there are any folks here with normal to dry facial skin, I think you guys should check out the cream skin refiner also. Now on to the third Korean skincare brand for the video. We're gonna quickly talk about something I bought from the Face Shop, which is the Dr. Belmere Advanced Cica Recovery Cream, another Centella asiatica base product. Big surprise, I know, but I read really good things about this and I thought I should also pick this up and give it a try, along with Cica, which is really good at calming skin. I already talked about that. This also has ceramides and panthenol, which is really good at helping repair your skin's natural barrier in case you feel that it's compromised in any way. And the texture of it is quite different to the Laneige Cica sleeping mask because that's more of a cream texture, and this one is more of a balm texture. I would say this is great to use during the daytime, while the Cica sleeping mask is of course made for nighttime. If you guys have very sensitive or reactive skin, something like mine, if you get acne often, if you get pimples, or if it just gets irritated really often, then you guys should definitely check out products from the Face Shop's Dr. Belmure lineup, because I also really love their pimple patches, and now I've tried this one out and I really like it as well, and I'm looking forward to trying more products also from this line in the future. Next, I'm going to talk about some makeup brushes, because one of the first videos on this channel many years ago was a Real Techniques makeup brush haul. Those brushes have served me so well and they've lasted amazingly over the years, but I thought it was time for a quick refresher and update, so I did purchase some new makeup brush kits. So I got one for the face and one for the eyes, and I like the kits because they're curated and they end up quite a lot cheaper than buying individual brushes, and you never know, you actually find each and every brush quite useful. It's been a couple of years now, I think, that Real Techniques redesigned the whole look of their makeup brushes. For example, this is the old buffing brush, but this is the new buffing brush. You can see that the design and aesthetic has changed a little bit, but overall it is the same brush, and the new brush looks a lot better than the old one. But the old one, I'm not ready to get rid of it for some reason, because it still just works, you know. So the face kit I got is called the Flawless Base Set for foundation and concealer, and it does have 4 brushes. Earlier they used to give you like a little bit of a brush wallet to store your brushes in, which I didn't really like that much, and I threw most of mine out early on. But now they give you like a little brush stand that matches the brushes inside the kit, which I think is really useful. So the 4 brushes are the 206 contour brush, the 207 detailer brush, the 204 buffing brush, and the 205 square foundation brush. And I actually ended up getting 2 of these kits because the first kit that I got was kind of damaged slightly. The holder, etc., was a little bit cracked, so I complained to Amazon and they sent me a replacement, but they also let me keep the original, which was really nice. I did expect to like the buffing brush, it's already one of my older favorites, but what I didn't expect is to find a new favorite brush. But I'm kind of obsessed with their square foundation brush. So it's a lot smaller than the buffing brush, you can see, and the bristles are more tightly packed together. But I really like the way this distributes foundation on my face, and I really like that the slightly packed shape helps you kind of get into the contours, so you can easily just pass it at the corners of your nose, or you can go really close to your eyes, which is something that I like. I've rarely been wearing concealer these days. Today I have some in the under eye region. A lot of times I'll just skip concealer, but this brush doubles up for concealer as well, which is something that a lazy girl like me loves. After I put on my foundation, I will just use it to blend concealer also, and you couldn't really do it as well with the puffing brush, which is why I've been defaulting to this brush every time that I put on foundation. This puffing brush as well is a classic, a favorite, so versatile, and it can be used for cream, liquid or powder products. I've used it for all 3 and it works amazingly. You don't have to just use it for your base. I think this also works amazingly for bronzers and blushes as well. Now I'm gonna chat about the enhanced eye set that I bought, and this one actually has 5 brushes, and the eye brushes are purple colored, plus you get the matching purple color holder. You have the 310 essential crease brush, the 311 fine liner brush, the 308 medium shadow brush, 307 shading, and the 312 lash separator, which is kind of like a metal comb that you can use to separate your lashes in case they get clumped together immediately after you put on mascara. I actually have not used this kit much yet, which is why it's still packed. Like, I did use it once, but not enough to give you guys a full review. Anyway, eye makeup is not really my forte. I ignored eyeshadow for so many years of my life, and I just started getting into it a little bit in 2020, but I'm still very much of a beginner. I really enjoy putting eyeshadow sometimes with just my fingers, which works amazingly if you're doing just 1 or 2 colors and you want an imprecise, diffused, like washed application. But if you guys want to do any more complicated looks, of course you need some good quality brushes, and I believe these are it. If you've ever wanted to purchase makeup brushes but you don't know like where to start or which ones to get, I would definitely recommend these two kits from Real Techniques for the face and for the eyes. They are amazing and really great value for money that will last you such a long time. The next thing that I have is a little bit random, and it's something that pretty much everybody uses, but we never pay too much attention to, or we never like look closely at, and it's a nail cutter. They're never really that great and they don't work so well, so there must be better ones out there. I started searching and I came across this Japanese brand known as Kai Japan, and this is the type W001 nail cutter, which they have available in quite a few really attractive colors. But of course I had to go for this really highlightery yellow-green combo. This is one of the prettiest nail cutters I have ever seen. This is not made in Japan, it's made in Vietnam, but according to like Japanese standards and style. And it's like somebody saw a nail cutter and they were like, okay, this is fine, but how do I improve on it? The aesthetics are really beautiful, of course, but they are not the thing that makes this nail cutter special. This nail cutter feels amazing to hold. It's stainless steel with a plastic ABS sort of casing, and it's actually lighter, I think, than many other nail cutters, or at least that feels that way in my hand. This casing helps you collect the nails inside, so as you cut your nails, they don't fall out or go flying anywhere. They'll stay inside the nail cutter, and once you finish cutting them, you can just slide out the bottom of the casing and empty it and then just put it back in. I just recently used this nail cutter to cut my toenails, which is not an activity that I enjoy much. I mean, who enjoys cutting nails? But toenails are more annoying to cut than fingernails, and it was just so breezy with this. The blades are really sharp, but they're not sharp in a way that it will cut your skin. It takes like a minimal amount of effort, and I just really enjoyed using this. Never thought I would get this obsessed with the nail cutter, but here we are. If you guys are also annoyed with the regular nail cutters that you have, I think you should definitely check out Kai nail cutters, because this is a little bit life-changing. Now onto the only makeup items for this haul, which are basically these cream blushes that I've purchased from Flower Beauty, which is like an American kind of drugstore brand, and this is actually Drew Barrymore's brand. So when I saw it at first, I was like, oh, another celebrity makeup brand, that seems like the latest trend. But the more I actually saw the product lineup and read reviews and stuff, the more I was really impressed by it. And I actually have a few different things from Flower Beauty, but I think these are my favorites. So these cream blushes are supposed to be really effective dupes of Glossier's cloud paints, which are like cult cream blushes. They're pretty much the most well-known cream brushes, and you can't get Glossier in India, so you can get these in India. Also, these are more affordable than Glossier. There are a few different shades available in this range, but I picked up basically the only two shades that would work on more pigmented skin tones. This isn't really shade towards Flower Beauty, because Glossier has got the same criticism that most of the cloud paints only really work on lighter skin tones, but they also have just 2 or 3 shades that work well on more melanated skin tones. The shades that I have are BB4 Melon and BB5 Bitten. Melon is basically a pinky peachy coral. It's actually pretty vibrant and it might look scary once it comes out of the tube, but it really settles onto skin nicely. Bitten is an even more deeper shade. I believe this is a really close dupe of Glossier's Storm Cloud Paint. It's a deeper, like flushed mauve shade, and you need so little of each of these products. They are insanely pigmented. You need like a pinhead amount. So even if you guys see this little demo I did, I thought I took a little bit, but then I took too much on my hand. This is too much. There is a really thin nozzle which helps you get out exactly how much you need. So you need to practice at getting very little out, and you can apply this with your fingers also. I just prefer applying it with a brush. I had used Melon quite a bit, but today I'm wearing Bitten and I hadn't used Bitten that much, and when I first applied it on my face, you can see it went completely into clown territory. You needed to use like half the amount I used, and it actually blends on your skin very well, and once you get just the amount you need, it looks so natural. A little hack that I can give you guys is that, you know, if you have put on foundation with a brush, use the same foundation brush to blend the blush also, because there's a little bit residual foundation on the brush usually, which will just kind of mix with the blush and will help everything look much more natural and diffused. The very last item that I have in this haul are a few like makeup removal accessories, I guess you could say, that I purchased from Muji. Muji is a Japanese brand and they are a full lifestyle brand. They do homewares, they do kitchenwares, they do clothes, linens, and so many different things. So if you guys are interested in Muji, I actually did a whole Muji haul last month. I'm gonna link it over there, which features some homeware and some stationery. I just wanted to purchase some of their makeup removal accessories. I needed to buy some new cotton pads to use with like micellar water or any other makeup removers, and I decided to try out the Muji ones because these are really well known and almost cult products. They are made in Japan and they're known for being really soft compared to cotton pads from around the world. Some of Muji's things can be expensive, but this is actually quite affordable. So you pay 250 rupees and you get 189 cotton pads, which is kind of a random number, but you're paying around 1.3 rupees per pad, which is quite cost effective if you ask me. This is what a single pad looks like. It has a little bit of a natural texture which helps you get your makeup removed more effectively, but it's still very gentle. I usually don't need that many to remove my makeup. They do have another variant available called unbleached cotton pads, which, as the name suggests, is not fully white. It's got like a natural like yellowy beige ecru sort of color, but those were out of stock and I was not able to get them. So I actually bought this small dabba also from Muji. This is supposed to be to store cotton buds, but I actually put my cotton pads in here, which makes it easy for me to access them. I could do pads and buds also. I could put the cotton pads on one side and put buds on the other side, and I'm really obsessed with these PP dabbas from Muji as well. I even use one to keep my like most regularly used makeup. So this is a larger size, that is a smaller size. I also bought this from Muji. These are their thin cotton buds. They have quite a few different types of cotton buds, but I wanted thin ones because I wanted this to correct makeup mistakes, so I didn't want something overtly fluffy. This is a refill pack and there are 200 buds in here, although it doesn't look like it. This doesn't come in a dabba. They have ones that like come in dabbas, but this being a refill, you can put this in any other dabba. So when I open it, I'm going to put it in this, in one side. I'm really obsessed with Muji's products and I will be buying and trying more of their things as and when I feel like I need them. So the next product I have is this bottle of Jamaican black castor oil from G Drops. So I recently decided to look up and see whether castor oil really does help with brow or lash growth, because I've heard this said anecdotally a lot, but I wanted to know if there was any proof. And the results I found were a little bit mixed, because some people do swear by this type of oil, while some people say it's more of like a thing that everyone says but it doesn't really work. Although there is some research that suggests that castor oil is really effective for a very porous hair type such as mine. So if you have hair that gets frizzy easily in humidity, it means that the cuticle of your hair naturally just stays a little bit open. Castor oil does help to seal the cuticle of your hair, and that's how it ends up being more nourished and stronger and thicker in the long term. Regular castor oil is quite easy to find in India, especially in chemists and stuff, because it has been used as a laxative for many years and is transparent. But Jamaican black castor oil is supposed to be way better, especially if you're using it on hair. So I picked up this one from G Drops after comparing all of the different brands. This one was like the most value for money. It isn't a very strong smelling oil. Like, you really have to take a whiff of the bottle to get a smell, which is what I liked, because I was worried like neem oil is good but really stinky, and this isn't the case with Jamaican black castor oil. But to me it smells a little bit like burnt sawdust or something. I'm gonna start using this very soon. I do want to get one of those like applicators which will just help me apply this more easily, and I'm gonna try using it on my brows. I think my brows have been doing quite well recently, but we can always do better, right? And those were all of the products I have for today's haul. It was a little bit long. I talked a little bit too much. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Here's another reminder that all of the products I talked about are going to be listed in the description box below, so you can go check that out for more information. If you have any questions about any of the products that I featured, or you would like to share your own experiences or anything like that, please feel free to do so in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.